Welcome to my backyard garden. Today it's an update just to show you what I've been doing for the last week or so, and I've pretty much got my summer garden up and going. Now we'll start here like I normally do with the green beans. These are Jade 2 variety, and they've been in the ground for about a month or so under a row cover. They've come along really nicely, good germination rate, and they are about 3 weeks or 4 weeks away from production. I planted these 4 inches apart. Last year I put them 3 inches apart, but it's just too close together to really work with. I got a lot of production out of them, but I went back to 4 inches just to make it easier to get into. Okay, here I got peas and beets. Beets are little, peas aren't. Peas are growing, and I've got about 5 feet of growth on that tall one right there. The rack itself goes up 6 feet all the way up to there, going down. Anyway, so I've got just a standard trellis on here. I think it's bird netting or something like that. It's 1.5 inch squares, but those peas will just climb all the way up that trellis, and I already have some flowers on there. They'll be producing. I'll have peas in about a week or so. Here's my other bed with peas, and I just planted some radishes down there about 4 or 5 days ago. They've come up now with my radishes because I want to make sure I get every one of them as much production as I can. I planted 1 row, but I put 2 seeds in each row, and so they are coming up, and you can see that almost every space has a radish or 2 in it, and I'll go back and I'll thin those out. When you thin your radishes, go ahead and pull them out. Don't just clip them off, because when you clip them off, they'll go ahead and just grow back, and they'll have to pull them out anyway. This is the tomato bed that I had my cold frame on. I took the cold frame down yesterday, and you'll see that I already have some flowers on this, flowers on the other one over there, and so I'm starting to get some production out of these. Now these are probably look to be 2 to 3 weeks ahead of the tomatoes that I had under the row cover. So these are doing really nicely, and you'll see that I've got them all strung up, and my rack is up, and I've got a separate video on how I do these racks. You'll see I have the racks are 5 feet tall, and 5 feet in my growing zone, which is 6B, is plenty of height, because anything pretty much at 5 feet above that, I'm not going to get any tomato production out of it. It'll be too cold by the time they get really set. These are some more of my interplanted beds. I've got peppers and lettuce here. I've already done 2 cuttings of lettuce, and I need to keep the lettuce cut down because they shade out the peppers, and I want those peppers growing because I need more peppers. I've got about 70 pounds of bell peppers last year and 40 pounds of hot, so I just need some more peppers. This is my other bed with tomatoes. Now I've interplanted this one as well, and the difference between this bed and the other bed is that I'm only growing tomatoes on the north side of this bed, and by doing that it allows me to plant other stuff in there. And what I've done is I've planted short stuff, radishes, taller stuff, lettuce, and then tall stuff, the tomatoes. So that lets me be able to use this whole bed throughout the season instead of that bed over there, which pretty much will be shaded out by the tomato plants, so I can't put anything in the center of that bed. This is my largest bed. I think it's 20 feet. Could be 20 feet, but anyway, I put more Jade 2 variety beans in here, and they didn't germinate as well as the other bed, so I'm just going to let them go, get what I can out of them, and then put some more a different variety of beans in there after these are done. And this is my season production of garlic. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 plants in there. I just went to the store, bought a little sleeve of garlic, used one of those, broke it up, and planted them, I think, in November. So I put them about 4 inches down. They came up, I think, in January this year because we had a warm spell, and as soon as we get a warm spell, they come up, and they do okay because we had like 11 inches of snow on the ground here one time, and some really good cold nights, and they survived through all that. So probably middle of July I will be picking this garlic and then using that bed for something else. Oh, and one more thing, I got the fence up. This fence is 28-inch rabbit fencing, and I run this all the way around the garden. I built that gate so I can get in and out without having to step over, but this fence runs all the way down to around the end of that bed, and this helps keep the rabbits and the critters out and munching on my lettuce and the other plants. So I used to have each one of my beds fenced off or set up in such a way that the animals couldn't get to it, and it was just hard to work in the beds because I'd have to reach over whatever fencing I had or barrier for the rabbits and stuff. So I found this works really well because I can step off my patio and just walk around the entire bed, entire garden, and not have to worry about going over or around or reaching over or anything else. So it works out really well. Hope that was helpful. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will be back with more stuff soon. Please subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.